Of late, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has spoken of two broad themes. One, Vikas Bhi, Virasat Bhi, which is ushering in development along with honoring tradition. And the second, his identification of four castes, namely the poor, women, farmers, and youth. In terms of honoring tradition, there could be a nod to what the Sangh Parivar has started calling the temple economy. As for the second theme, the government could try put more money in people's pockets, whether by introducing a welfare scheme, a monthly allowance for women, which the BJP ruled state governments and also some of the Congress ruled state governments have already done. And there could be increased allocations for existing welfare schemes for farmers and the poor. However, one would like to see how the government responds to the opposition's criticism about joblessness and the demand for restoring the old pension scheme.
The electoral strength comes from the rural part of the country for many states. In fact, in most of the states, rural economy is the bigger proportion than the urban economy. And any government or any political party which manages to capture the imagination of the rural people or the rural economy and the farmers, obviously, who are an integral part of the rural economy, they have managed to stay in power. And this government, since it has come to power in 2014, has made very concerted attempts to focus on the rural economy as well as on the agriculture sector. Schemes like PM Kisan, PM Fasal Bima Yojana, your irrigation schemes, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, your free food grain scheme for the rural, for the entire country as such, but also the rural economy, even the irrigation projects, the drinking water project, the Jal Jeevan Mission, the toilet projects in rural economy, the houses in rural houses, the roads in rural Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana, all have been very well funded by the government since 2014, since it came to power. Now, we expect the same to continue in the coming budget interim budget as well, because that is where this government wants to move forward to create tangible, durable assets in the rural economies so that it has a long-term benefit.
Government's capex push has been relentless, and in the upcoming interim budget as well, the expectation is that the government will continue to push the pedal on capital expenditure with the hope that it will crowd in more and more private investment, which is yet to kick in a big way.
While the interim budget will be judged initially by whether the finance minister sticks to her promise of not making any spectacular announcement, ultimately as the dust settles, it will be judged by whether the underlying fiscal math of the budget are credible or not. This is more so because of India's inclusion in the global bond indices starting next financial year. The markets will reward if the underlying assumptions on growth, revenue collections, disinvestment, borrowing are credible. If the government allocates higher capex for FY25, say more than 12 trillion rupees, then the market may cheer it. But what should also worry if the government is not able to achieve the FY24 capex target of rupees 11 trillion, because this would mean that there are not enough large projects in the pipeline to absorb the kind of money the government wants to spend in capex.
From this budget, essentially a clear message from the finance minister that the government is fully committed to the path of fiscal consolidation as outlined a few years ago by her, without compromising on capital expenditure push and without compromising on any issues that make the budget less transparent. This interim budget is being presented at a time when the Indian economy is preparing to chart its growth path after recovering from the COVID. Therefore, it has to make sure that the budget has enough incentives or indications that both its measures to boost investment as well as to encourage demand in the economy, those goals are met.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views, and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, and LinkedIn.
He's making plans for an early retirement. Business Standard.